Yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy. Welcome to Watch Me Build It. It's been a while, I know. Sorry about that. My family have been on the move, I've been on the move, and now the channel is on the move. So I wanted to make a short video for you with a bit of a journey motif in it, so that you can get a small idea about where I've been, where the channel has been, a better idea about where we're going in 2022, and an idea about how you can come along for the ride. So jump on in. It's not going to be a long video, but when we get to our destination, you'll have a far better idea of where Watch Me Build It is going in 2022. So the first change I want to make relates to focus. Right at the beginning, I said I wanted my channel to be about building watches. There are lots of channels that do an amazing job of reviewing watches. I don't want to reinvent that wheel. Besides, I think they do a way better job than I do. However, there's not a lot of material where the parts for building watches are reviewed. The suppliers of those parts, the service experience, the finished product. So that's where I'm going to focus my attention. I'm going to investigate and profile stores from AliExpress. I'm going to profile folk like Namoki, Crystal Times, Adduceit. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to build one beautiful watch per month. And in each of those builds, I will source parts from a particular store. I'll tell you about the cost of those parts. I'll tell you about the fit, the finish, the packaging, the process of delivery. I'll tell you about all of those things and help set you up for a well-informed watch modding experience. So the second way that I'm thinking of changing the channel this year is on the issue of funding. COVID affected all of us, didn't it? And it's had an effect on my family too. So I've had to reimagine ways that I can create income for my family. And one of the ways I've thought of doing it is by using what I already have in my YouTube channel, but enhancing it and monetizing it. Now, I'm not going to monetize the channel itself so that I get paid per view. I really don't think I'm of a size that would even make that worthwhile. But I am looking at using affiliate links extensively this year. So often in the videos to come, I'll have affiliate links for the parts that I use, and you can help the channel by clicking on those links to buy the parts to build your own watches, and that will help me with a small commission. Another idea that I'm playing with is to open a Patreon channel. I'd like to know what your thoughts would be on that. If I do the Patreon channel, I'd like to create in-depth footage for patrons only for the building of watches. But I'm also thinking of developing some content about stripping down and rebuilding all of the popular movements that we enjoy using in our watch building. Things like the STE1612, the DG2813s, the NH35s and 36s, some of the GMT movements. I'd like to know what your thinking would be on that, because it's quite a bit of energy and I don't know if I want to go down that route. Another idea that I've had for Patreon is that on the higher tiers, we may be able to have a higher subscription fee, but then after 12 months of subscription, you get a watch that I've hand built for you to say thank you for your subscription. It's an idea, but I'd like to hear if that kind of thing would wash well. And then the other way that I'm thinking of creating funding off of my channel is to actually sell the watches that I build. I haven't decided on which platform I'll use yet, but I'll make the watches available for sale, possibly on eBay, possibly on Etsy. And then the other avenue for creating funding, of course, is to build watches for people. So there I would play the role more of a traditional watch modder. You'd get in touch with me, you'd send me the parts, and I'd do the build or the modification for you. So that's coming in 2022. There'll be more affiliate links. There might be a Patreon channel, and there'll definitely be watches that you can buy that I've built on the videos. So the third element that I would like to enhance my channel with this year is friendship or fellowship or fraternité. I'm looking for a good word that begins with an F that describes the conversation that happens around watches. So I've already begun that when I was invited into the Brotherhood of the Submariner Homage, and I posted great videos about that brotherhood and one of their or two of their watches. Please click on the cards in the corner to have a look at those. But I'd like to engage in that a bit more this year. I've got some more unboxings and more reviews of Brotherhood of the Submariner homage watches on their way. But I'd also possibly want to take that further. Maybe if I do open a Patreon page, it could add to that conversation. And I'd like to hear from you on that count. Would you take a moment to subscribe and comment? Tell me what your thoughts are on this matter. Because something I have come to appreciate is watches are great, but they get better when you're talking about them. And I want to be talking about them more this year. An idea I've had in the Patreon zone is possibly to have an element of help me build it and help me review it. Now, I'm not trying to plagiarize Mark's idea, but what about a concept where you as a subscriber have a watch you'd really like to have built and we can collaborate? You could buy the parts, have them posted to me. I could do the build, film it, and then send the watch on to you. Or I could put a project up that I really want to do and see if a patron would like to put their hand up to fund that, and then of course the patron gets the watch at the end. Those are some ideas I've had, but really I want to see what I can do to just add a bit more to the conversation in 2022. I'm excited about watch me build it in 2022. So I invite you, jump aboard, let's get the engine going and let's do this together. Cheers.